Welcome to It Happened in Grand Prairie, Texas, as we bring you the history of our city and some of the wonderful people that make history and some of the people that are making history even today. And we're on history tape number 646. And we just welcome you to the site today because we have two wonderful ladies that are going to tell us about something that you have suspicioned all along, that the employees of the city of Grand Prairie are very well aware of themselves and their health. And we're just so pleased, first of all, to have what we call the Walk Across Texas Site Coordinator, Candace Day. Candace?
Thank you for having me.
We're excited to have you here.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
And we're going to talk about all the things that you're just going to love to answer questions on and all of the good stuff. And you have brought an assistant with you today.
Yes, I did.
And isn't that wonderful? Amy Sprinkle, guru of PR, everything that has to do with history and tourist information centers and archives and commissions and all of this thing. We're glad to welcome you back, but I'm surprised you can even open your eyes today because you have so many different jobs and people are tugging at your coattail all of the time, wanting to know more about Grand Prairie, Texas. Isn't that good?
It's a blast. It's wonderful.
Well, since you have the history of Grand Prairie, that you control a lot of it that goes on when we're making this history, I'd like for you to go back to the time several years ago, even before we had the Walk Across Texas and the WOW, which is Working on Wellness. Those two subjects we know a little bit about, but you know what? I don't even have any notes on what happened before that. And since we know that you know and that you'll tell us, we want to give you a little time to go over that for us, please.
I'd be happy to. Candace, how long have you been with the city?
I've been with the city about 2.5.
2.5 years? Okay, so about a year before, maybe a year and a half before Candace joined us,
Yes.
Our insurance rates had just been going, health insurance rates for employees
Yeah.
had been going up and up and up and up. That's a large part of the city's budget. And
Yes.
so the city manager, Tom Hart, made the decision we've got to control this. We've got to help our employees get healthier so they use fewer doctor's visits, fewer emergency visits. They're healthier, and our health insurance rates will hopefully go down.
Yes.
And so he tasked a group of employees with developing a wellness program for employees. We named it WOW, Working on Wellness.
And who named that?
Well, actually, Mr. Danny Boykin in the Parks Department had that. We had a little team of brainstormers, and,
Yes.
and he came up with that little gem of wisdom and brilliance, and we latched onto it really quick.
Yes, and WOW, I'm so glad you explained to me what that was.
Wow, Working on Wellness.
Yes.
And so we started the program, 4 years ago now. The first year, and it was all, Candace can talk a little bit more about what employees do to earn credits, but basically we've instituted several different ways of wellness for employees. And the first year, our insurance rates held steady. Or they may have increased by just a little bit. They increased by just, the rate of increase greatly decreased after the first year.
Oh, it did.
The second year, we held steady. And then the third and this year, we've seen actually declines. Is that correct?
That's
Am I remembering
correct.
that? So it is doing what it's supposed to do, and that is make us healthier, which saves residents money because we have less health insurance costs for employees.
Oh, that is wonderful. Well, did they lose any weight when they were doing all of this?
You know, in the first year, Candace, I don't know if you know this, in the first year we did a survey on how much weight employees had lost, because we did a Biggest Loser, we did our own Biggest Loser contest, we had our own different events that we did. We had a volleyball team and a baseball team, and
Oh, you
we
did?
Yeah, we had an aerobics class. We did all sorts of stuff the first year, and over the first year, our employees lost more than 1,000 pounds collectively.
Oh,
Isn't that great?
that is
And so I stopped keeping track of it when Candace joined us as our wellness manager for the city,
Yes.
and she took over the whole program as well as other jobs within the HR department, and she's been running the show since she's joined us.
I need to get back with Candace then.
Yeah, she's a fountain of knowledge here.
Yes, she is. And we're just so glad that you're here to talk about wellness.
Okay,
because,
well, thank
that
you.
is so important, not only to the older folks, but to the younger generation, because they're setting the stage and developing habits and patterns for their lives that they're going to have to carry either the weight of or less weight during all of their lifetime. And isn't that good?
Yes, that is good.
All right, now let's get back to the personal part, Candace.
Okay.
You came to Grand Prairie from where?
I am actually from St. Louis, Missouri.
Mercy.
And
That
I
is
moved
almost to the Mason-Dixon line.
the
isn't it?
Mason-Dixon. Right. So I'm from St. Louis, and I moved to Texas in 2007.
In what brought you to Texas?
I just decided I wanted to leave the Midwest, and I up and moved.
Just up and moved and came to Grand Prairie, Texas. Why Grand Prairie?
Why Grand Prairie? I was looking for not a large city, not a large metropolitan area, but I was looking for more of a place that could kind of nurture as I just ventured into Texas. So I didn't know anything about Texas. I had no family or anything that lived here. So I needed someone to kind of let me know how the Metroplex was set up. And this is the...
Who did you contact in Grand Prairie to find out about us?
I Googled on the website. I
did?
went and
We're
looked at
a Google pattern, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
That is great.
Yes, Google is great. And I looked up different cities in the Metroplex, and I started looking at city sizes. And I went to the website, and that's how I
Yes.
found out about the city.
And you just pinpointed Grand Prairie from the web. That is a very, very exciting happening to me, because I know that there are many other people that are Googling us all the time, and I don't even know about it.
All the time.
Isn't that wonderful? And
Yes.
when you got to Grand Prairie, who did you contact?
I contacted Human Resources, and that's actually
You
the
went
department I
straight
work
to
in.
the source.
Oh yeah, definitely. If I wanted to work here, I had to talk to HR. So
Yes.
I went to HR and I applied for a position here, and that's how I became the wellness coordinator for the city.
And when you came on board, where did they put you at City Hall?
In the HR annex, in the HR
that
building.
annex, the old City Hall building.
That's the old City Hall building.
Yes,
Wow.
that the city manager wants us to raise and put something beautiful there, and because I think maybe it may have all of these bad things in the building that we need to get rid of it, but
Oh, okay.
but it's going to be your home for a while, isn't it?
Yes, for a while.
Okay. And when you got here, who was your supervisor?
Supervisor was Lisa Norris.
Oh yes.
Yes, Lisa's a HR
Yeah.
director
Yeah,
now,
yeah,
and
she's there now.
yes, and so she's my direct supervisor, and then Fred Knapp is my
Was she glad
supervisor.
to welcome you?
Yes, she was definitely glad to have someone on board to do projects like this.
Yeah, huh? And what was your first assignment? Was it the WOW?
The first assignment was actually we were bringing a health clinic to
Okay.
the city
Okay.
for the employees. So the
Uh-huh.
first assignment was to look how can we bring a clinic just for our employees, locations, the kind of services that we need
Yes.
for our employee group. And then also this is where the wellness came in. So as wellness under that falls with the lunch and learns that we do on wellness topics, and then the walk across Texas. We did Biggest Loser. We did Weight Watchers.
Well, now let's go over those one at a time.
Okay.
Let's back up here
Okay.
and start and do what was the first project that you had?
The first project was the clinic.
The clinic.
The
Did
first-
you get it done?
No, we decided to go another route.
All right. That cleared that one
They
off.
cleared that one
We
off.
didn't get a clinic,
We didn't get a clinic.
but you're still there. You're still. What's your next project?
Next project is overall wellness in the city.
All right.
So the first thing we did.
Did you have a committee?
Yes, we did have
You pulled a committee together.
Yes, we had a working on wellness committee, and that's comprised of 10 to 12 employees of different departments.
Okay.
And they serve on this committee, and we meet monthly and decide on different
How did they
wellness
get
activities.
appointed to it? Did they volunteer or did you all appoint people?
It was you were recommended by your director,
Okay.
and then they had to volunteer and commit.
Oh, they had to volunteer then after they were recommended.
After they were recommended, and then you had to
Yes.
commit.
And
to
y'all met how often?
one time a month.
One time a month.
Mm-hmm.
And then y'all came to a consensus, and what was your first project?
My first project, we coordinated a health fair
Okay.
Health fair.
Had a health fair for the employees only.
Employees only, employees and retirees.
Now, where would you do all of this?
We did that at Bowles Life Center.
Oh, yes,
in
that's
the gym.
good.
We did that at Bowles.
And how did it turn out? I
Great
came by there
turnout.
and
You did come by there.
I came by there and I got some special attention and got some information that I needed to shape up and quit being so fat. And
That's what they said?
I have lost 5 pounds since then, but it took me 3 years nearly to lose that 5 pounds. It was a pitiful trial, but I did get it accomplished.
You got it accomplished? Well, yeah.
And how did you like the Bowles place for activities?
Bowles is nice.
Yes, it
That's a very nice facility.
And was the fair successful, what you call successful?
Oh, yeah, definitely. We had maybe 40 to 50% of the employees actually show up and
that was
participate.
good. And so you have written success on this one, and what was your next project?
After that, we started, we did a Biggest Loser for the holiday.
Okay.
So about starting in November, ending in January, if you can maintain your weight without gaining any holiday weight from all the food and eating and all of that, we gave employees prizes for that.
Oh, well, good. That's good. And that was successful.
That was successful, yes. We
And
had
the next-
employees maintain weight
Yes.
throughout
Just
the
maintain it through that holiday.
Maintain.
When we like to eat fruitcake and all the other
all
good
the
stuff.
extra, the turkeys and
Yeah,
the fried,
turkeys
yes.
and dressing that's greasy and wonderful.
Right, and wonderful. Yeah, so
And
we had
full
to,
of cholesterol. Yeah. Okay, and then after the first of the year, what'd you do?
after the first year, they weighed in. So they weighed in November. We weighed everyone. Then you had to weigh in
Who
again
was
in
the
January.
biggest loser? Are you allowed to tell?
I don't know if I'm allowed to
No,
tell.
don't tell that thing. But you did have someone that was successful
Oh, yeah.
in losing the most weight. And,
Yes.
and everyone was happy with the way things went.
And we actually had one of our city attorney, Don Postel.
Yes.
He was one of the winners of the Biggest Loser.
Oh, well, good.
He did.
And he lost weight.
He lost a lot of
He lost
weight.
a lot of weight
Yeah.
over that time.
He made the biggest effort then, didn't he?
Biggest, yes.
Yes, that's wonderful. And then after this trial over the holidays, then what was our next project?
Our next project, let's see, we did screenings. We did biometric screenings. So we had the employees.
Tell me about biometric screenings.
Biometric screenings are where the vendor comes and takes blood.
Yes.
And then with that blood sample, they run if you have high cholesterol, blood pressure, triglycerides.
Oh,
and all
that
kinds
tells
of
the
things.
story.
It tells everything.
Oh, that is so rude to bleed people to find out about how they are, but that's good.
Right. You need to know your numbers. You need to
You
know.
need to know your numbers, and where your weaknesses lie.
Exactly.
Oh, that is good. And then did you give people reports or what?
Yes, we gave them the report back.
And then what happened?
After that, they were told their numbers and what you need to improve on. So we did it again the year after that. And then,
Did
so they had a
accept that?
comparison.
Oh, they did have a comparison. And then what did they do?
If they had a comparison and there was something they needed to change, that we kind of directed them in the direction of, let's try to improve these numbers for next time.
You don't command that they do it, but
Oh,
you
no.
suggest that they won't be fired as early if they'll do all of this
We
other good
strongly
stuff.
suggest that you try to improve the numbers.
Oh, I love that. Oh, that is so wonderful. Well, you have had a successful beginning of your career, but your career in Grand Prairie has everyone excited, especially when after you finish this. Are you still working on WOW?
Oh, yes.
That is still in force.
That's the ongoing committee. That is, as long
And
as
do
we
you
have
get
here
new
the
members
city.
to that every now and then?
Yes. Our employees retire or they switch different departments. We can get a new member
Oh, that is
on
good.
the committee.
And then after this, how about this Walk Across Texas business?
How about the Walk Across Texas? We actually did that last year for the first year.
All right, I'm going to hold on to Walk Across Texas. Amy, of all of the things that she has given, of the things they've done up until this time through WOW, a lady that takes down history, how well do you think that this has been received by the employees?
Very well. Very well. In fact, Candace, I think you can agree that our attendance numbers at the health fair have steadily gone up each year. Our participation in the programming has gone up, and our insurance costs have gone down.
Yes.
So it is doing what it's supposed to do. I know personally the first biometric screening we had, my cholesterol was high. which, you know, I
Shocked you?
yeah. So,
uh-huh.
Darn it, I couldn't really figure out what I was doing wrong. I just started eating oatmeal for breakfast, and I dropped my cholesterol by the next screening by 30, 40 points. I mean, just way down.
Wow.
How wonderful.
So I have kept on oatmeal and Cheerios. It works just as well.
Do you
and
get
that
the,
makes
get
a
the new
difference.
chocolate Cheerios? Can you have
I
that?
haven't had the chocolate Cheerios yet.
Oh,
I bet I could, though.
I bet you
I
could,
bet it
too.
would still work.
Especially if you keep on your oatmeal.
Yeah, but we've had so many people make such drastic improvements in their lifestyles by changing their diet, increasing their exercise, dropping lots of weight, and becoming much healthier, feeling better, being much more energetic. It's fun to have all of the different, it changes every year what we do.
Oh, yeah.
We'll continue some things. The educational part of it's really fun, but the active part of it is equally as fun. And the Walk Across Texas that we did last year gave us an opportunity to also kind of kick off and get more people familiar with our lovely Lone Star Trinity Trail, which runs up behind the Tourist Center and around the Verizon and Lone Star Park. We did our kickoff there, which was very nice.
Yes, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, but
And we all had to walk across Texas, which was 836 miles.
Yep, about
Candace?
830 miles.
So we didn't actually walk across Texas. We had to walk 836 miles
Okay.
in a certain time frame, and that is the same as having walked across Texas. A bunch of us. We had 12, 14 teams of
We had
Bunch.
38 teams
38 teams
of 8 people.
of 8 people each. So we had lots of
Oh,
employees
yeah.
participate, and they came up with some crazy names.
I bet they did. Did each team come up with a different title?
Yes, each team had to come up with their own name, and they had to find 7 others, a team captain, and then you had to find 7 other
What did the team captain do?
Team captain was kind of the cheerleader, motivator of the team. Every week they reported their miles. So if you walked 14 miles on the weekend, the team captain was the one that contacted me to let me know how many miles
On
that
this
they walked.
walking that they did over the weekend, could they walk it different? They didn't have to walk together as
They did
long
not.
as they walked.
Right, you reported to your team captain wherever you walked, and you did not have to walk together as a team.
But you could.
You could.
You could walk as a team if you wanted to.
Oh yeah.
But I'd like to ask some more about the Lone Star Trail,
Okay.
because you know that I have adopted that as my very own.
Okay.
Since I raised $4 million to get the first part of it done, and I'm working on the last part now, and I think it's going to take another $4 to $8 million to do that, to get Irving to meet us.
Okay.
But I was so impressed that you're using that trail for your walk.
Well, we decided to
Tell
use
me about
that.
the committee that put together the Walk Across Texas.
Okay, well, the committee for the Walk Across Texas, probably more than 5 to 6 people throughout the city, employees, and we were deciding of a kickoff location. So we wanted to use one of our own city locations.
Okay.
And then the trail is actually, it helps because it was already numbered. So we already knew exactly how many miles it
Yes,
was.
it was.
Whereas, if you're walking in another park or just down the city street,
You'll have to measure it.
you have to measure it. So we knew exactly how long that was, and then we were kind of giving the employees guidelines. If you walk this trail 4 times a week, you will make half of your miles by the due date. So they kind of gave us a good
An incentive there.
Yes, definitely, definitely. So we wanted to use the backdrop of Lone Star Park in our pictures, and had a kickoff, and they just walked the trail one time.
Okay, but that set the stage for wherever they wanted to walk, anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
During their week.
Exactly. You can walk at home if you live in other cities, or if you want to walk a track at a school, that's fine as well.
How many departments participated in this?
I'd say
I think all of them.
all of
did.
our departments participate. We at least had one employee from all departments
Oh, that is
participate.
good.
We have even had overnight police officers and dispatch
You
that
had
work.
the police obeying Walk Across Texas.
Right. We actually had a lot of police teams.
And
a lot
fire.
Of, exactly. Yeah, and fire. And fire work. They tend to walk a little bit more than the police.
Yes.
But we in the police department dispatch, we had a midnight shift, and they walked at their times and then reported their times, and they came back in
Have
the
you
office.
finished the Walk Across Texas?
Yes, we have finished the Walk Across Texas.
Who was the best participating department in the Walk Across Texas?
The highest participating department, actually, I would combine it with 2. One would be Amy's, Communications and Marketing, and Housing
And housing.
And housing. Mhm.
That seems so very unusual.
Unusual. Well,
We
they
combined.
Yeah.
I would have thought it would have to do something with parks and recreation and all of their
Well,
departments. that-
utility services and water was
Oh, yeah.
really big.
Oh,
They'd
yeah,
have
they
to go
were
around
huge.
and read
And
the
the
meters.
court ladies.
The court
The
was
court,
very serious
they were
about walking.
every day at lunch. They walked for lunch. They did really well. And parks had, and you would think it'd be the guys in the field, the parks administrative staff.
The parks administrative
Still
staff,
walk
right.
around
Yes.
City Hall at lunch.
Oh,
every
they
day.
do.
They still walk. So you can see.
I have threatened to walk around City Hall when I didn't get my way about something, and I was going to carry a banner and petition the council to do something.
Well,
but
Mae Smith in Parks still does that, so she could probably carry it for you.
she could carry
every day.
it.
Yeah.
Isn't that good?
Yes.
And then code enforcement also did really well. Of course, they're out on the streets all the time.
So they
anyway,
walk,
So
so
they're
they're
walking
used
a
to.
lot, but they did more than that as well.
But now that we have the guys that read the meters by a little implement instead of going around and walking and taking the gas meters or the water meters or anything, they don't get to walk that anymore.
Right.
They're just
They
about
find other times that they can. Yeah.
and so those are the most important, the ones that really gained the most.
Right.
Not gained weight, but they gained the most hours walking across Texas.
In the program.
Did y'all have a banquet or anything after all of this? And
Yes, we did have a recognition banquet, like an award ceremony.
Yes,
And it rewarded 2 of the top employees and then 2 of the top teams that walked the most miles. in that.
are we going to get the names of the winners?
Yes, I actually remember the names of the winners.
All right.
Okay, and then we had David Bradbury.
Oh, yes.
He's from Code. And then we had Rosa. She was in court. And she actually lost a lot of weight while
Good.
she did the walk across Texas.
And the departments, the 2 departments.
The 2 departments, we had court, the ladies from court. The court ladies.
Oh, they stuck with it, didn't
They
they?
stuck
They
with
did.
it. They really did. And then we had a public works team.
A public works team.
And they really put in some hours, put in some hours and some miles for walking on the team.
And everyone was really happy that you were the chair.
Everyone was happy. I don't know.
Yes, everyone was thrilled.
Everyone was
Absolutely.
thrilled. Absolutely. So you have made a real dent coming from St. Louis to Grand Prairie, Texas, and caused people to lose weight, to shape up, become healthier, live longer. They owe you big bucks.
They owe me big bucks.
They owe you big time, don't they? That is wonderful.
Well, thank you.
That is
Thank you.
good. What's on the agenda for the next thing?
The next thing, we're thinking of doing another walking program,
Okay.
a different type of walking program.
You're going to have to make it so that it won't look like it's real hard walking work.
Right, right.
Okay,
You have to make it seem like it's something you could do every day and it's
Yes.
really easy. And then we're going to have our flu shots in September for all employees.
Okay.
So that's more on the preventative wellness side. If we can get them into the doctor ahead of time before all the issues come, then they
Yeah.
can kind of start working on those things. So we do more preventative care and emphasis on preventative wellness. And then we want people to get active, exercise, get out and walk around and exert some energy, exercise. That's the
In the
purpose.
future, will you ever do another fair?
A health fair?
Uh-huh.
We do the health fair every year.
You do the health fair every year.
It's March of every year. So we will definitely have another one.
So you're going to have a health fair, you're going to walk, you're going to keep on encouraging them to lose weight.
Oh yes.
We keep doing our lunch and learns.
Doing lunch and
We do
learns.
little brown bag lunches with different. Candace brings in different folks with that speak on
Different
like
wellness topics.
diabetes, heart disease, sleeping better,
Healthy back.
healthy back. So
Yeah.
every month, do we do or every other?
Every other month,
We do a lunch and learn.
we do. Yeah, we have the employees come and they pay $5 and they can listen to whatever the topic is of the month.
And they bring a sack lunch,
They can bring lunch or they can buy lunch.
buy lunch. And who prepares the lunch?
We usually get them from a local vendor.
A local vendor. And are they good, healthy food?
They are good, healthy lunches. Yes.
That was going to be, of course,
It's
if
just
I
donuts and cookies. That's
if-
all we eat.
Sweet.
if I bring a sack lunch, it's going to have weird things in it.
Oh really?
Oh yes, I have to have some fruit in it. And
Okay.
and I have to have just a little bit of cheese
Okay.
in it, and very little bread,
Little bread. Okay.
which I love.
You love bread. Okay.
If you go to a bakery where they're baking the fresh bread, and you want to come out with a warm loaf of fresh, wonderful whole wheat,
Whole wheat.
a whole wheat. I can eat that on the way home before I get home, and I've hollowed it all out, and all I have left is the crust. You know, there's
You're
some.
supposed to eat it all at once, Miss Ruthie.
I know it. You're, not, you're supposed to be very, very kind to yourself.
It's supposed to last longer than that.
Well, Miss Amy, I'd like for you to look out into the guest camera and talk to the people in Grand Prairie, Texas, and tell them how important it is for the employees to do all of this, and you would encourage them to do a pattern, something like this, and get their own little health WOWs in their neighborhood, and have a neighborhood wellness WOW, and see if they can help the people in Grand Prairie, Texas that are lounge lizards like some of us are that don't get out enough. So would you do a preaching for me?
Absolutely, my pleasure. The employees really have embraced this program. It's built a lot of camaraderie between departments. Folks that you don't know, you get to know in all of the various activities. And we feel better, we're healthier, we can work longer, stronger. It's just been a big benefit for all the employees as well as the budget of the city, because we're having less medical bills, our insurance is coming down, and that positively affects our bottom line. So if we can do it as a group, so can other companies and organizations and neighborhoods. It's great to get together with friends and say, let's all walk let's do a 3-mile walk on Saturday and everybody get together. It's a good time to meet and greet and talk and catch up and share some time together. So we highly recommend it. It's worked well for us.
All right, Candace, you get a pitch at the general public and tell them that you want them to join you, and just pray for that everything will go well for you and that you'll have the best WOW, walk across, whatever that
Okay.
you want done. You're on front and center,
Okay.
and you got to do it in a minute.
Okay. I want the citizens of whatever city that you're staying in to participate in any kind of wellness activities. Preventative care is going to be the reason where you have lower insurance costs and lower claims. That is so important for preventative care and preventative wellness. So if you could start working out, eating right, and you don't have to change your diet drastically, but if you change a little thing like adding fruit to your diet or eating breakfast. A lot of people skip breakfast. If you just do those little things, it really makes a difference in the long term, and that's the point of being healthier and living healthier. So exercise and then eating right. If you could change just one thing, I definitely recommend that.
I'm glad you came from St. Louis.
Thank
I'm
you.
glad Grand Prairie got you on the internet, and it is wonderful to have you
Thank
here
you. It's
today.
nice
Thank
meeting
you.
you.
And Miss Amy, thank you for taking
Thank
time
you for
from your
having
very
us.
busy schedule. And this is Ruthie Jackson reminding you that history is as we live and do, and that we document it as correctly as possible. And thank you for watching our show. We're delighted to have you here today.